It all started with a corner of my property that had, for as long as I could remember, hosted a small roadside memorial. Back in 2002, someone had died in a car accident there after driving drunk and crashing into a tree. The memorial, made up of a wooden cross, faded plastic flowers, and a weathered sign, had been a tribute to that life lost. For years, it sat there quietly, but over time, it stopped being maintained. For at least 5 years, no one had visited, no one had cleaned it up. The weeds grew wild around it, the wood of the cross began to rot, and the sign was so faded you could barely make out the name. I never had an issue with it before. It wasn't hurting anyone, and I understood that people grieve in different ways. But eventually, I decided I wanted to put up a privacy fence around my property. The planned fence line went straight through the memorial site. Standing there one afternoon, looking at the sagging cross and the tangle of weeds, I realized it was in terrible shape. It didn't look like a place of remembrance anymore. It looked abandoned. I thought about reaching out to the family, but honestly, I didn't know who they were. There had been no visitors, no fresh flowers, nothing to indicate it still meant something to someone. So I made the call. I cleared everything out, the cross, the flowers, the sign, the little trinkets that had long since lost their color. I leveled the ground, and within a week, the fence was up, clean, private, and exactly how I had envisioned my property. That was last year. I figured the matter was done. But just this past week, there was a knock at my door. A woman stood there, clearly furious. She didn't introduce herself, just launched into a rant about how I had destroyed her property and disrespected the memory of her loved one. She said she was going to sue me. I was caught off guard. First, I didn't even know she existed. Second, this memorial was fully on my property. I told her exactly that, explaining that it had been untouched for years and had deteriorated badly. I said I needed the space for my fence, and I had no idea it still mattered to anyone. She wouldn't hear it. She accused me of being cold, heartless, and inconsiderate. According to her, I should have left it there, regardless of its state, because it was sacred ground. She stormed off before I could get another word in. That night, I couldn't shake the encounter from my mind. Was I wrong? Should I have left the memorial alone, even if it was falling apart? Or should I have gone out of my way to track down her family before touching it? Part of me felt defensive. It was my property. If something is on your land, neglected for over 5 years, and it interferes with what you want to do, don't you have the right to remove it? Another part of me, though, wondered if I'd been too pragmatic about it. Maybe there was a better way. Maybe I could have at least taken photos and tried to find a contact before dismantling it. But the reality is, at the time, it seemed like a forgotten relic of someone else's grief, left to decay without care. I thought clearing it was the respectful thing to do. It was better than letting it rot into the ground. Since then, I've mentioned the incident to a few friends and neighbors. Some say I was completely in the right. It's my property, plain and simple. Others think I should have gone the extra mile to find out who it belonged to, but no one can give me a clear answer that makes me feel certain either way. And now I'm left with this question lingering in my mind. If something stands on your property, untouched for years, and you remove it for your own use, are you crossing a moral line? Or is this just a case of bad timing, with emotions running high? Am I the asshole for doing that? Thanks for listening, and if you want to hear more interesting stories, just click the link below.